So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Harrison, back with some more Age of Empires 3 action for you today. This is the ESOC Stay-at-Home tournament. This is the rounds of 16 between danielek and Knuschelbär. The map is Hudson Bay Summer, opening map of the round of 16 map pool, and we already see a treasure contention for 80 wood. But there's only one Japanese mark next to it, and I think danielek's actually snuck in there. He's stolen the 80 wood underneath the nose of Knuschelbär, and Knuschelbär will be rather frustrated by that early opening. Does pick up two goats. Goats are moving home, but I think, is that macaque I've seen? I see a red dot here. Yes, Freitag, the pet macaque, has been scouting around and picked up a goat. Two goats at home as well for danielek, so it looks like opening goats going equal apiece at the moment. danielek having 4, Knuschelbär having 3. So danielek will be playing as the French for game number 1. It was an open pick. Decided to go for the early market house, hunting dogs, food and coin crate starts with the opening, so no early trading post. Knuschelbär playing as the Japanese civilization. He's opted to go for a port consulate on a food and coin crate start. That is actually quite greedy, and I wouldn't normally expect a Portuguese consulate on a coin crate start. Well, to be fair, Japan, they rarely even go for a market on a coin crate start. It's rather useless for them. But Knuschelbär will need to have a very good and tightly controlled Age 1 for it to work out. He may have gone for the Portuguese consulates due to the scouting of the 80 wood treasure, but had to adopt his opening builds to try and accommodate that extra wood. He missed out on the treasure and had to chop afterwards. Crack shot going from danielek does pick up the 40 wood treasure. Knuschelbär was going to come and take him himself, but danielek once again taking a wood treasure underneath the nose of Knuschelbär. Will be backing off his explorer, starting to age up. A 13 villager age up as well, if I do say so. Currently moving villagers onto the trees, getting the wood income. I'm expecting a trading post to be thrown down by danielek at home. Will we see danielek go for the trading post? He's making his way over. 200 wood in the bank account, not going for place of mines. And yes, the TP is being thrown down in the transition. Let's have a quick look at the treasures so far this game. We do see danielek picking up quite a lot of wood treasures. Even managed to get a 40 wood treasure in before the 80 wood he stole from Knuschelbär. 30 coin as well, and then that 40 wood we saw later on. Knuschelbär though, not too much. 45 coin, 80 food as well, and 45 food, so about 120 food, which is, you can't disagree with food when you're playing Asian Civ. That means you get to throw down that Asian Wonder that little bit earlier. That means you get to age up earlier as well. Quite curious to see danielek's deck. Let's have a quick look. Double wood crates, double coin crates as well. Spice trade makes an appearance in the second age. I'm not too sure if danielek will get around to sending that card. That's probably taken the place of Wilderness Warfare, Skirm HP. Third age, pretty standard. We do see both Refrigeration and Royal Mint. I'm not a massive fan of having both these cards in, especially Royal Mint. And Age for Factories and Heavy Cannons. Knuschelbär has a mixture of cards in Age 1, so that his opponent will have to guess what the first card is. Heavenly Cami, 300 woods is his opening economic options. Colonial Militia also makes an appearance. And then we have standard Age 2, Age 3 sets of cards. We are missing one card from both. I think it's possibly the 300 export and the intervention shipment, or refrigeration in the third age. Double crates, no, 7 vills. I'm trying to remember what that extra card in the second age is, but it has cross memory, Shogun, Flaming Arrows, and double military as well in that fourth age. Right, barracks coming down from danielek, going for mid-map control, similar to how we saw Danielek play versus Prince. 5 pikes early out. All 5 pikes going for this single shrine. I suppose it is on his side of the map and taking his hunt, which he doesn't like. But sending all 5 pikes for 1 shrine. Easier pickings for Knuschelbär to defend. But it means all the pikes will have to run to the other side of the map if they want to take on extra shrines. Looking at the shrine count for Knuschelbär, actually 80 shrine population. 20 does come in the form of the Tashoga shrine, and obviously 10 population coming from that town centre. So he's only got 5 shrines out on the map. There's the 5th shrine has just gone down, taken down by the pikemen. However, we got shrines 5th, 6th, and 7th being dropped on the home hunts. I think Knuschelbär has realised he needs to play somewhat defensively here, and he can't afford to have too many shrines out on the map. Just waiting to see with his first engagements. It's felt a little bit quiet this game. Not too much is going on. But we do have 10 crossbows moving forward. 10 is that magic number to manage to pick off the villagers in one shot. Unfortunately for Danielek, Knuschelbär is paying close attention to his economy. Both his cherry orchards behind the town centre, gathering coin from his mine behind the town centre as well. Pikes sieging down some shrines. These 10 crossbows are enough to pin down the Japanese infantry in the base. Knuschelbär is essentially losing his shrines. He can't really get out and defend it, but he has been very cheeky here, rebuilding the shrine which Danielek thought he had taken down. Well, he did take it down, but Knuschelbär's put it back up again. Second trading post coming in. Danielek going 700 wood for Vil. I like the 700 wood first to kind of go for that second TP, get the infrastructure down, start the opening batch of pikemen. 4 Vils feel natural, and I'm sure Danielek is sending 700 coin, but if he is, he could cancel it right now. It's just come in. It's not that awkward, to be fair. You know, it's not as great as saving it and, you know, sending 1,000 wood. But Danielek will soon be advancing up, but we'll have lots of extra resources to spare to produce a lot of skirmishes straight away, and then maybe even go for a big batch of cuirassiers from a stable if he's got such an overflow of resources. Pikeman taking down a shrine, but need to run though. Ashigaras nearby. Pikeman slightly faster than Ashigaras, so these Ashis will... well, they pick up 2 pikemen and actually manage to one-shot kill a pikeman with 5 ashes, so that is a very, very nice pickup, and it's an exact number. 24 times by 5 is 120 HP, so these pikemen unluckily will get one-shot killed by 5 ashes. Might even be why Knuschelbär went for the 5 ashy push out instead of 5 Yumi. Knuschelbär continues to run with his ashes. He knows if he turns around, he is going to go take the full brunt of these crossbowmen. Pikes actually engage in the ashes to try and pin them down. Crossbows will be moving and taking single shots while they can. 2 ashes going down, another pike in cover mode. But that's bought the time for the crossbows to move up and will pick up 4 Ashigara musketeers for his troubles. Would a fast industrial be a good idea for France? Well, let's look at the situation right now. Danielek's in the 3rd age. Knuschelbär's aging up to the 3rd age, but the French player at the moment is under no pressure. He could go for 1k coin and eat all those goats, but I feel he's ate all those goats already. I don't see those goats on the field. Let me just quickly check. Nope, all those goats have been eaten. If he'd saved those goats from earlier and ate the goats on the age up and sent a 1k coin, the French player could, and given that he has 2 TPs on the field as well, that will give him that extra XP to send those great age 4 shipments of the heavy cannons and to the factories. The problem is, though, in that strategy is look at that recalculated economic population. We see Knuschelbär having 42, and that there is the shrine population, 140, bolstered by the Tashoga Shrine and Heavenly Kami. Did send 4 villagers as well. Strong eco, not the greatest eco ups, missing Imperial Bureaucracy as well as any wood upgrades. and the basic coin upgrades as well. But economy is not the forefront of the agenda here. Looks like a couple of skirms were pushing forward. Danielek sending 5 Dragoons early to try and protect himself from any Age 2 Daimyo or surprise Naginata play, but I don't think the Nagis are on the way. Well, there's 2 Naginatas on the field, but it feels that if you want to push your agenda early on, something more impactful than 5 Dragoons would have been the better play. 2 Falconets, 8 skirmishers, or 3 cuirassiers, all more suited shipments. Even going for a coin crate or a wood crate from his shipment could also be a decent idea. Crossbow's going to the south side, trying to see if they can pick up a villager or the explorer building the shrine, but he's found the Naginata riders. Crossbows are hastily retreating, and now that the engagement's happening, skirmishers topside, crossbows bottom. Crossbows are the more expendable units. The dragoons will move to the top side to protect the skirmishers, but the crossbowmen, they will have to be sacrificed here. He's putting the crossbowmen back, and he's actually moving dragoons to try and cover the skirmishers, getting some great trades north side though. The Naginatas are nowhere to be seen. Now that the Nagis are on the skirmishers, it feels like they're doing the damage they need versus the units they want to kill, and just let these crossbowmen live. From Knuschelbär's point of view, but danielek taking the upper hand in this early Age 3 portion of the game. Did send 8 skirmishers to bolster that skirmisher count, but he's lacking that siege of the heavy cavalry to really drive that nail into the coffin and deliver a heavy blow to Knuschelbär. Knuschelbär, they're remassing 7 Yumi, 4 Naginata riders, 3rd Age, and can send other shipments like 5 Nagi, 9 Yumi. He does have all 3 unit cards available at his disposal, even Flaming Arrows, but there's 5 Nagi pop, 5 Disciplined Nagis pop out to the southern side, but they don't engage. Knuschelbär knows that there are Dragoons nearby due to that shrine. Is that a raid topside? That's an Ashy raid. Pardon me, guys, I was not expecting an Ashy raid topside, but we'll get picked off by a few skirmishers at home. CDB's tanking as well. He's getting his great coats to help fight, but he's also going to back off from the front because he knows that he's split. His forces are in 2 different places. Skirmishers, Falconets to the north, only a handful of Dragoons down to the south, being whittled away by disciplined Yumis. Naginata riders giving chase to the skirmishers, and there's another 5 batch of Dragoons. So luckily for danielek, I don't think he's at risk of losing this entire skirmisher mass right here. That previous fight for danielek has given him 2 shipments back-to-back, Falconets, cavalry combat. Crossbows actually been used to defend from the Ashigara raid. A couple of CDBs topside. Could get Blunderbuss to help fight, but now he has great coats, that's probably most important. And I think that big fight will recommence once these Falconets actually make their way across the map. Je suis blessé. Je ne peux pas bouger. Not too sure. danielek saying it's GG, I guess, but I'm not too sure. Okay, he's talking about missing his window. I think he may be correct on that, but he does have cannons. Cannons can go great versus disciplined Yumis. Knuschelbär may overcommit with his Naginatas and get picked up by all the Dragoons here. If he does have a 3 cuirassier shipment coming in as well at the same time, that would be really, really nice. Quick look at any minute villagers going down. 3 CDBs so far. Not the end of the world at the moment. Military population still in favour of France, and danielek is going to be pushing Knuschelbär up against the edge of the wall. Town centre nearby, could go for Minutemen. Dragoons staying close to the Falconets, try and fight. There's one pop of Minutemen coming up. Taken and drawing the fire from the Dragoons. Dragoons going to show on top of these Minutemen, but Naginata is going into the skirmishers. Skirmishers now backing off, but the Yumis are now picking onto the Dragoons, and the cuirassiers, they would have been so impactful in this situation. Skirmgoons somewhat struggles versus what Japan's done, and the resignation comes there, and GG. Knuschelbär not panicking in the early game, just carry on with his standard play. Realise that Japan will come into their own strength as the game goes on, and I think if Knuschelbär was playing versus an opponent like Soldier, Maito, Kaiser, that kind of brigadier, top 4, top 8 type player level, I think Knuschelbär would be in serious trouble there. The French build seemed crisp. It had a clear idea, couple units out, and disrupt Japan. Japan felt quite slow to the Fortress Age actually, but a stronger French player would have sussed out probably a better card order. Could even drop a forward outpost to get the forward shipment point. That 5 Dragoon card was a slight mistake from danielek, but apart from that, danielek's play that game was really, really good and should be able to take some sort of comfort from that opening game, but it wasn't as one-sided as he may have anticipated. In total, about 3 or 4 CDBs went down, maybe the 5th one here, but a couple of Disciplined Nagy's raiding is a nice play. A couple of Colonial Ashes raiding is also a nice play. Defending with Nagi Natas, a couple of Yabisamis as well. That's not a unit you don't often always see. Disciplined Yumis and the town centre for the double Minutemen was just enough to kind of get that surround. Focus down the anti-cavalry units of Dragoons and then a batch of Nagi Natas if it was on the way. Currently 1 Yabusam, but could be sending a Nagi shipment. Nope, already sent the 2 Nagis. But anyway, Yumis will trade better than unupgraded skirmishers. Villager count, Knuschelbär has a couple more villagers than danielek. Need to remember danielek is playing the French civilization. CDB are stronger, about 1.25 times the eco that the Japan can output, so having about 30 villagers towards the end was about the same as what Knuschelbär, but Knuschelbär had the shrines in the background, and that's what gave him the economic edge, as you can see, just growing at a faster rate than what danielek can muster. Good early engagement, danielek, training off a few of the crossbows but picking up quite a few of his units, and it felt that he had a decent, really great military lead at this point, 40-15. The remass did come from Knuschelbär, but unfortunately the Falconets, when they did arrive, took a while across the map, and at this point danielek's army was split defending raids and trying to push at the same time, and that gave Knuschelbär enough time to remass and defend that final push. I'm going into the chat, and what is this that I see Azam talking about his grand plan to make the UI auto-cast games based on recordings of AoE players? Just cut and paste interesting things. Treasure contention from Inter. No great coats from myself. Kaiser with just casual trashing his players for saying, oh, it's just absolutely terrible play. You could actually get a quite funny montage, and somebody could even just go through about 4 or 5 games casted by any player, take out the important points and stitch them together, and then you can have like a little montage of casters casting a single game, but just like saying a couple of words or a sentence each and just chuck it in there. So that'd be quite interesting. Would be a lot of effort, but that would certainly be fun to watch. Right, the next game. I'm sure the players have now picked their maps and civs. Let's hop on. ESOC Zavkan is being picked from danielek. Knuschelbär picking Spain. danielek going Otto. Boys, you know it's a 2 TP map, right? Right? Or maybe 3. It's either 2 or 3. I wasn't expecting Spain versus Otto in this map. Yeah, no idea. We shall see. I think danielek is blushing. He knows the map. No, you cheeky liar. danielek must know the map. He did pick it unless he got given it. Knuschelbär's asked. danielek is taunting me to green up. I will ask if they want a preview. Okay, for real. Right, we shall go into game number 2 on ESOC Zavkan. Danielek's rank is currently major on this account, but he certainly plays like a lieutenant colonel. I think he's slightly underranked on this account. He does have multiple game accounts. Danielek, the name Daniel, possibly one more he uses for treaty. Danielek, mainly a treaty player, has signed up for this tournament and has actually put in a decent showing so far. Right, welcome to ESOC Zavkan, a map designed by danielek. We have Danielek spawning into the northwestern map in the colour blue, playing as the Ottoman civilization. Knuschelbär is playing the Spanish. Spain was the first pick from Knuschelbär. Ottoman was the counter. Welcome to the Snaking River of Zavkan, a map designed by danielek. And we can see just by moving across, it's quite a large map in terms of the actual total size of the, you can say your little mini map circle, but it's mainly longer than it is wide. Two sides of there's a central river going through with multiple crossings, quite wide, trading routes going through as well. Only 2 TP sites, but all the resources, treasures, snake their way on the east and west bank of the river Zavkan. I'm gonna call it the River Zavkan, the Zavkan River. Right, Knuschelbär is coming in with his Spanish Explorer and War Dog to lame the Ottoman Explorer. On a high TP map, this would be a fantastic play, but there's only one other TP on contention for Knuschelbär. If Knuschel has advanced train post in his deck, I would laugh, because that is going to be of absolutely zero use this game. Both players starting with the Mongol Scout as well. And let me have a quick check of the map. Side hunt and mine. I think it's just a single hunt, mine and base. And it looks like both players having that hunt and mine option. So both players having 3 nearby hunts and mines. The rest of the resources out in the map. I'm happy with this balance, and we will continue. GG there. Knuschelbär can make turtle soup. He unlocks the secrets of fine cuisine on the Zavkan River. Danielek will be missing out on that delicious turtle soup. Maybe just taking a little nap while he recovers from looks like a foot injury. He's rolling around, grabbing his foot occasionally or his knee. Maybe he took a shot to the knee. Don't think there's any arrow firers in this Age 1 composition from Knuschelbär. If you get my drift, or should I say any archers, if you get that joke, but we'll leave that for another time. Right, shipment sent, 3 vills for either player. Knuschelbär still has that shipment in queue. Let's have a quick look at Knuschelbär. No ATP, so he has identified this is not an advanced trading post map. It has 25 out of 25 cards, extra 1 in Age 1, Eco Theory, and Colonial Militia. Quite a lot of upgrades in the second age. Hand Infantry HP, Cav Attack as well, Advanced Arsenal, Unction, Hand Cav Combat as well with Hand Infantry Combat. No Caballeros available here. I'm thinking this is going to be quite a lot of infantry coming up from Knuschelbär. Rod Lance is a quite common composition. Doesn't look to be a revolt deck, but the best revolt decks are the ones you don't assume your opponent will be revolting with. Right, let's turn off the fog of war and see what is going on. Most of the map has already been discovered. Mongol Scout moving north, so the dog. You could try and rush this map and build a forward outpost, but it's a long way to cross. I will have to check with the creator of the map if this is the size it is usually meant to spawn, because it is absolutely huge if it is. But we have set up the game as normal as any other game, and it's equal for both players, so we continue on as usual. Let's have a quick look at Danielek's deck and see what his plan is. And hello boys, hello, what's this? 8 Hussars in the 4th age, 6 Spahis as well. Card you never often send. He's my favourite card when I used to play the game back in whenever it was 2000. When the first game first came out, I used to play single player AI all the time. I used to have all the Spahi cards, all 5 of them, or 4 of them. 5 Abus, 5 Spahis, no Mams or man choose 1,000 wood, 1,000 coin, but does have extra cards in that 4th age. 4 vills for some interesting reason in the 2nd age. And maybe danielek's going to go for some sort of 700 coin 4 vill eco play into that fortress age. Mongol Scout does catch the outpost wagon. This outpost wagon will not be making its entirety of the way to Knuschelbär's base. Nush could wall up this river, would be quite expensive, but could just play more defensive and wall up around the mine and just try and play defensive if danielek's going to continue with his potential aggression here. It's not yet confirmed, but we'll have to find out. Right, Mongol Scout is finally chasing after the other Mongol Scouts. Quite interesting how the Mongol Scout doesn't snare the outpost, and so it's taken him absolutely ages for the other Scouts to catch up here. That outpost wagon will be thrown down before it will get picked off. Not at risk of getting picked off. Going for a very interesting side build. I think this wagon is lost. Where's it going? Is it trying to set up a nice residential home on the coast of the Zavkan River? Good views over local herds and local forests. We need a moat with some sort of question marks, because this is the most non-standard, interesting place for an outpost I could ever think of. I don't know why you'd put it there instead of here, and that just gives the green light for Nush to push straight through the centre if he wants to. Maybe danielek is just trying to be annoying with that outpost, put it to the side, force Knuschelbär into some sort of reaction, and play greedy behind this. Who's going to win the Mongol fight? It looks like danielek's going to win this exciting war between the 2 Mongol scouts. You feel that after winning that glorious fight, danielek's scout could return home as a noble hero, but no. Juan Vizcaino just comes in and snipes that Mongol scout. We'll move over to this side to try and scout what's happening from danielek, but no hussars were sent to this outpost. Instead, they've been sent home. And this is interesting, because if the hussars went forward, they'd have been scouted by the musketeers. Hussars here to snare. Oh, this is a play from danielek. Can't you see it? He is distracting Knuschelbär, but danielek, he's going industrial behind this, stacking so much food. We'll be sending 1,000 coin afterwards. Could then send 1,000 wood as well. And oh no, don't say that, danielek. He will know. Nush will get it straight away. He'll know the plan. I think Nush has got it. I think Nush has understood what's going on. 1k coin comes in. Knuschelbär going Spanish gold. Does he have time for the Spanish gold to pay off? I'm not too sure. This is a super long map. I think danielek is actually going to get this revolt off for sure. Whether it's going to be effective or not, you know, he's playing versus the Spanish. Rodoleros are great at cutting through cavalry. 3.5 multiplier, 40% hand resist, so you can actually tank quite a lot of those Imperial Hussar swings. Now we see danielek going up to that next stage. I'm hoping it is the engineer, the tycoon. Okay, coin coming in. That's fine. Coin. Get that earlier. Possibly that earlier revolt. That makes sense actually. Maybe the engineer might be too greedy, but you need something to deal with the potential musketeer mass. Knuschelbär going for 1,000 wood. I think Nush has got to go for more of a standard play. Barracks down, market down. Steel traps soon to get placed some mines, a couple of houses as well. But here we go. The musketeers marching across, and this is what I was talking about. The engineer, a couple of falconets to defend would be would be nice to defend, but if actually another defensive outpost came down just to buy any sort of time you could. I did see that danielek had like extra 400 wood that he didn't really need. Hussars need to hide these guys away. That gives the game away. Actually dangerously short on food. danielek is. He hasn't herded in. What is it with Ottoman players not herding? Okay, he's got enough food. He's got the 1k coin just about to come in. Hussars come in first. Musketeers, they've kind of dawdled a little bit. They're going for the training post. The H4 has come in. Crack shot, crack shot. Yes, the crack shot has been used on the Hussar. Danielek is spamming Taunt 31 because he knows he's actually got this revolt off, but I don't like this. He's got no supporting units. A couple of, colonial militias and Imperial Hussars, but no cannons, no factories. Is this going to work? This is going to be tight. I'm not too sure. I think Danielek's pulled the trigger too early, to be honest. But here we go for the revolts. Unfortunately, no revolution music because of the AI and how it works, but this would be a good addition. Well, a couple of Hussars will see the colonial militia and will get absolutely wrecked here. Look at that, one going down. These guys having multipliers versus Hussars, and colonial Hussars is at best. But colonial militia should do well versus the veteran musketeers. But Knuschelbär, he's going to be walling up, and so you can see how Danielek is charging down the middle of the map, crossing the Zavkan River, going on to the eastern bank. Nusha's waiting and preparing with 2 layers of walls. Units in queue. Text being researched. Is Bastion on the way? It's not. Oh, Noosh. Noosh, he's going to the 4th age. 2.5k food. What are you doing, Noosh? Oh, he needs artilleries. He's going for cannons, but there are no cannons here. He could go Falconet's defensive. He's gone for 1 coal, but there's no cannons. There's nothing. There's no forward. There's no forward outposts as well for Gatlins to arrive on the field. And I think both players have significantly misunderstood either player's intentions. 3 Falconets though would be great at this point, but otherwise the 1 culverin just doesn't make sense. Is he still training it? He's still training it. He needs to sell some of this food as well for extra coin. The Imperial Hussars are in. Where are the Rodilleros? I don't. 2 Falconets do come out. Okay, so it's Falconets coming out. 1 culverin to defend. Musketeers body blocking here. Falconets unpacking onto the colonial militia. But there's a couple. The wall was not complete. A couple of Hussars went through the stable, as they naturally would do. But coming to the Falconet, Falconet picked up 1 culverin. Not doing a lot here. But Danielek is in, and he's not kiting away from the colonial militia. These guys are faster, but they're getting some great pickups here. Most of the Imperial Hussars are down, but now you have these colonial militia right underneath your dragoons. Another batch of militia are coming in straight off the bat afterwards. But Danielek has resigned. He's realised that. I don't know. I don't think it was fully over. I suppose the wall did get repaired, but it wasn't a full wall. Possibly early resign there. Maybe revolted 1 card too early. So a bit of an early resign there from Danielek. I think Danielek realised that all his Hussars were gone down, just colonial militia underneath what Spain had. But unless I'm missing something, no, I don't think I'm missing something. I think Danielek has grossly misunderstood the situation he was in at this point. Maybe he's not in the correct frame of mind for today. He has been playing sports all day and not ready for some competitive esports in the afternoon. But yeah, Knuschelbär surviving with the 2 Falconet, 1 culverin, veteran musketeers, no Rodelleros here. You just see that there's nothing really for to deal with Danielek's colonial militia. All the villagers built up in the town centre. Nush just having floating far too many resources for my liking. Both players just grossly misunderstanding the situation in game number 2. So Revolt comes in with the O'Higgins, up to 50 military population. Those 4 Hussars on the age up from age 3 were protected, so a full Revolt with 14 Imperial Hussars, and then but it was about 23 villagers, I think it was, or 22, 23, that area. but he was losing that spike, and although he did have more clone militia on the way, in the base was only about 20 odd, underneath town centre fire outposts, and likely more reinforcements, including possible Lancer shipments as well, could have been quite nice. Danielek resigned, and the problem Danielek had was, this is where he's fighting, and this was his reinforcements batch, and this is his next reinforcements home city spawn point. On the other side of the Zavkan Valley. It was so far away. I think Danielek just had no way to reinforce after this. He was sending another shipment, but it would have taken 2 minutes across the map. This map is so large. I suppose it's so large, revolts are safe to pull off, but they just take so long for reinforcements to arrive. Right, let's move on to the next one. Oh, yeah! Time for some Indonesia. Breeze making an appearance in the chat, Asia Killer, saying that to beat in the revolt is quite easy. Wall up, make artillery. You could even make artillery in a little box wall. I think that would have been quite a nice play. Knuschelbär could have spent about 20-30 wood, bit of APM once the revolt happened, just to make a nice little box around his artillery foundry for the Falconets to spawn in, or get some safety behind. He was picked off there by the Imperial Hussars quite quickly. The Musketeers they did lose, but they traded enough to kind of whittle down the forces and picked off all those Imperial Hussars. And then, the remass, but Noosh having so much food in his bank. It would have been slightly upsetting if, or a bit of an upset, shall I say, if Noosh lost that one. Right, we are currently saving EP recorded game. About to start in Indonesia, and here we go, guys. We are spawning in Indonesia. Game number 3. Knuschelbär is currently 2-0 up at the moment. He's on match point. This is a best of 5 series, unless I'm completely mistaken. Am I completely mistaken? Hold up. It doesn't say. Round 16, best of 5. It's a best of 5, so we're on best of 5 between these two players. So match point for Knuschelbär. The map is Indonesia, a map which gives you a saloon as well as a couple of coin crates to help. So both players going for a market. It looks like Noosh is going for the market. Danielek has got 1 coin crate on the floor. Is there in seconds? I usually thought there's 2 coin crates, but maybe it's been reduced down to 1. But it's going to go for the house instead of a market, and making use of that coin crate here. The Malafan catamaran is moving to the other side already for Danielek, and same for Noosh. Are they just trying to scout the map, or are they just trying to catch each other's catamaran off guard? Awkward smiley there coming from Danielek. I think both players were trying to find this ship, but to no avail. Unfortunately though, Danielek needs to be careful, doesn't want to lose any HP to the town centre. I'm a bit confused about what these two players are chatting about. I don't know why Danielek got a 65 coin treasure and traded off 321 HP at this point. You have to ask, is Danielek's head in the game, ready to take on Knuschelbär in a possibly a quite high APM intensive game on Indonesia? The Explorer is getting quite close to that town centre. If Portuguese have a lot of extra starting villagers, they can probably afford to put 10 vills into the town centre. Danielek's making the point that Knuschelbär starts with a saloon. Danielek does start with the fire pit. Both players get the same amount of coin crates on the floor to help them as well, so both players could go for the market play as well. There's a fighting talk. Reverse sweep incoming, being promised from danielek. He's currently moving down to the southern shoreline. Where is that Malafan catamaran? It's not fishing. Currently idle. Maybe waiting to pick up the explorer and move to the South Island. Players are still talking about the previous game. Asia Killer suggesting you could go for a petard into the Otto TC to deny the to kill the town centre and deny the age up and revolt. The only problem is the map size was so large on Zavkan it would take 20 minutes for the petards to cross the map. Okay, not 20 minutes, but that timing you would have had doesn't actually exist because of how long that map is. Right, the Malafan catamaran is scouting the top side, but Nusha's explorer is on a very awkward point in the map. He's really far away. Does scout 80 wood treasure. Looks like Nush wants to pick this up and try and take this himself, but he's nowhere near moving to that north side. I think this Malafan catamaran is just going to wait for the town centre wagon and a couple of vills to ferry across, occupy that north island of another town centre, get a couple of docks up, and play from there. So Knuschelbär opening up with schooners. Danielek, 3 vills at 700 wood. Not looking to be any dock play. And he's no dock play indeed. He's going for the war hut topside. Text completed. Aged up with a messenger. If Danielek is playing lands, the shaman age up could have been a possibility here. Double war hut. Spam 600 wood, 700 wood. Well, no, 700 wood, 600 wood. And then mass plenty of units. But Nush is already walling. He feels that Danielek is going aggressive. He hasn't quite scouted where it is, but he sees the base, no defensive war hut, no 3 warrior priests. He scouts the wood, doesn't see extra villagers. I think Knuschelbär has caught wind of what is going on. Also, having macaque in base from Danielek in Knuschelbär does suggest that Knuschelbär is aware that Danielek wants his extra scouting information to see how and where he's going to push, and Knuschelbär, he's playing safe. He's gone for defensive town centre in his base. Coin coming up from Danielek. Is he going mass Puma? Do outposts have a negative multiplier versus vills? I think they do. Yeah, this war hut has a 0.25 multiplier versus villagers. I suppose that kind of prevents people from tearing up the map and blocking off resources by just building a tower. Town centres with villagers gathered inside have a 2 times multiplier versus villagers. So town centres are great anti-villager buildings. War huts appear to not be. He's locking down a certain section of the map on the top side. Dock producing a couple of vills here, but boats, but these boats may have to cross over to this side of the ocean, or actually just already gather this side of the ocean where his other dock is already working. So a couple of outposts being quite annoying for Knuschelbär. He has to work around that, but 700 wood, 600 coin, mass pumas. This is going to be a massive puma all-in. Need to remember, Minutemen no longer do double damage versus puma spearmen. These guys have no longer got their siege trooper tag. And that was some good war deletion there from Danielek. He sees how one war piece was straddling either side. Went for that. He's in. He's just basically picked off one section of wall and he's already in. And you know what? The fact that he's already in, this could be quite risky for Danielek, but he could go for 2 caravels. 2 caravels north side, drop in here, could pick up a few units. And the worst comes to worst, he evacuates to the caravels and then he can play on with his boat's eco. But Minutemen coming out early, he's focusing down the pumas with all his might, and the pumas are just falling over so fast, and That was one Minutemen pop. Another Minutemen pop, which is so great because he's committed. Is only a couple hundred HP now. 69. The town centre goes down. Villagers out tanking. Danielek thinks he's on to a winner, spamming taunt 31, but there's still another Minutemen pop to go. And Noosh has the eco behind this. Is he making some sort of dock on this middle island, and a nice housing estate being built on places where Danielek will never get to? Okay, Malafan and Catamaran getting evacuating some villas, but there's 20 villas in this town centre. They need to get out somewhere. Danielek, does he have? He doesn't have the privateers. No privateers to contest the water and the villager evacuation. He's saying no, you don't. But I'm trying to find out what he's referring to because I don't think it's the water play. And he has enough. I think there's not enough units here from Danielek for Knuschelbär to worry about pushing out with his villagers. He must be waiting for the 2 caravel shipmen or bows. Minutemen called, defending, picking off his Puma spearmen. He wants to delay the siege as much as possible. He knows that Aztec's pretty much all in at this point. And actually, if he can pick off the high siege units, he can just sit in the town centre and let his boats do the eco. We'll do the talking. Jesus saying Harrison's quite confused today. Wow. What can I say? Unconventional gameplay coming out from Danielek has me scratching my head. Not to the same level of his high IQ play. Knuschelbär going for the reward. This is nice. Look at that. He's stopping people getting in, stopping them getting out. Oh, doesn't. So close to finish it though. That wall's going to take 4 times damage from the Puma Spearman. Nice idea. Oh, here comes CM. One shot Puma Spearman exactly, but I still would have actually liked to see 2 caravels. I'm not going to lie. I think 2 caravels would be nice. But with 2000 HP though, he can still kind of whittle this down. And yes, here comes the 2 caravels. 2 caravels will start to move in position to pick up villagers needing to evacuate to that north side. Yeah, they're moving in there, just out of the range of the war huts as well. And I think we'll see 10 vills leave. No, 10 vills have already gone. All these villagers on this island's working away, and okay, the fact it's just 10 vills with CM taking down Danielek's entire army. Yeah, this is some good play, good defensive play from Knuschel, and I think he's soon to have the victory in his bag. Big Minutemen coming out as well. He's walled up that top side. The only way these units can get out is through the Minutemen mass, and the resign comes. So GG. Knuschel takes this series 3-0 and will be moving on to the quarterfinals, the round of 8. Danielek is saying he's back to Treaty, the other popular game of Age of Empires 3. I've tried my best watching multiple games, but I just can't get away from the 40-minute boom. I guess it's different if you're playing, but if you're watching it, it's a bit like, quite a lot of impressive economic management for 15 minutes, and 25 minutes afterwards gets a little bit stale. But Knuschelbär showing his recent form, backing up his victories. Gold medal winner, first place in Conquest Empire Cup 2, even defeating Maito 3-0 in the semis along the way, and a decent EPL number 2 as well. 3 series wins, and even picking up games in the series that he's lost. So Knuschelbär is my second seed for this tournament, and he's showing his display again with another 3-0 versus Danielek. Having said that though, a bit shaky. Danielek's unconventional strategies had Knuschelbär thinking on his toes, I'd say, and you could see some of that miss macro in the second game. Potential card order here for Knuschel as well in the third game. Possibly a way for players to actually break Knuschelbär. They just need to play unstandard, it seems like. Right, villager count for Knuschelbär just continues to grow with the dock boom, even when he's fully pressured. Gets to the point when he realises he doesn't need to make any more villagers and just invest into some sort of defensive play. Military population picks off so many units with the town centre fire. That first Minutemen Pop picking up all his Pumas with the Townsend to far, and Explorer, really nice. Second Minutemen, not as effective, but didn't matter. The first CM Minutemen, all of those came out and just the game was sealed. The military units from the Aztec players trapped, they couldn't run away, and the all resources gathered. It looks close, but quite a lot of these resources were crates where Knuschelbärs was just gathered and had the better eco moving forwards